Okay, so earlier I did the introduction of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and I introduced you guys to the Black's Law Dictionary. These are tools of mine that I use to learn and understand history and law together. In school, we were taught history. Europeans recounts of history that placed them at the forefront of our people on this land. And yes, this is a turban. It is not the turban that the European control over the media has led you guys to believe. As a descendant, as an heir to the Moorish Empire, the Moorish nation, from what you know as Africa to America, which also includes the other three continents that are included as the three continents of Americas, which is Central, North, and South America, plus all those islands down there that we call Caribbean islands. North America actually extends all the way through to Canada as well. And when the Europeans, under the name United States of America, which was a corporation that was bankrupted by the noble Drew Ali, and then they had to sell it to the Vatican and the Queen of England. That's a whole nother conversation. They renamed themselves, just like any other business, right? Like Jewel Osco was actually bought by Albertsons Foods. Now, because the name was established already, the name of the business was already established already in the neighborhood, in the communities, they left it as Jewel's, but it's now Albertsons, right? Okay, anyway, that's just to kind of give an example. So they changed the name from the United States of America, which is the company name, to the U.S., United States. Or to go even further, I won't discuss that either. But this is, once again, like I said, this is about United States Declaration of Independence, right? This one, I'm just going to read the preamble. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep every video 3, 6, 9, 12 minutes long. And that way it's easy to digest and you can listen to them in spurts. So the preamble of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights reads as, whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Whereas disregarded and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind, and the advent of a world in which human beings shall enjoy freedom of speech and belief and freedom from fear and want has been proclaimed as the highest aspiration of the common people. Whereas it is essential, if man is not to be compelled to have recourse as a last resort to rebellion against tyranny and oppression. This is what we're dealing with right now, tyranny and oppression. That human rights should be protected by the rule of law. The reason why things aren't changing is because everybody's dealing with statutes, codes, and regulations, and policies and procedures. We need to get under the law. Whereas it is essential to promote the development of friendly relations between nations. Whereas the people of the United Nations have in the Charter reaffirmed their faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person, and in the equal rights of men and women, and have determined to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom. Whereas member states have pledged themselves to achieve, in cooperation with the United Nations, the promotion of universal respect for the observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Whereas a common understanding of these rights and freedoms is of the greatest importance of the full relation of this pledge. Now, therefore, the General Assembly proclaims this Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, to end that every individual and every organ of society, keeping the Declaration constantly in mind, shall strive by teaching and education to promote respect for these rights and freedoms, and by progressive measures, national and international, to secure their universal and effective recognition and observance, both among the peoples of member states themselves and among the peoples of territories under their jurisdiction. It's another key word. You have to find out what jurisdiction is, subject matter jurisdiction, and we'll be all right. I love y'all. Stay well, stay alive. Peace.